Today we start with the state space analysis of the control system. So if you are having any system, so this system can be analyzed in a transfer function model as well as a state space model. So transfer function model is a conventional method and state space model is a modern tool technique. Okay, so here in the transfer function model, by varying input quantity, you can able to vary the output quantity. So that is output. That is your one conventional method, and also all the things will be analyzed with the zero initial conditions as a zero, or initial conditions is assumed to be zero. Okay, and apart from that, the transfer function model will be in S domain. Okay, so but the system also has to be analyzed in terms of time domain. For that reason we are going for the state space analysis. So in the state space analysis, the system will be consist of input variable, output variable, and the system variable. By varying input variable and also the system variable, you can able to obtain the desired output. So this is your additional thing which is done in the state space analysis technique. Okay, so here not only by varying the input quantity, you can also vary the state variables or system variables, so that you can able to obtain the desired specifications. So all these things will be analyzed in terms of time domain. That is also one important advantage when compared to the traditional method, that is the transfer function model. So here if you are having any control system which will be consist of input quantity, that will be u of t, and output quantity will be y of t, and system variables will be considered in terms of x of t. So now this system state model or state space analysis of this control system will be consist of two equations. One is state equation and output equation, and this will be written in terms of x dot of t is equal to a into x of t plus b into e of t, and output equation will be y of t into equal to c into x of t plus d into e of t. So combination of state equation and output equation is been written for given control system in the state space analysis method. So here you can able to see what are the state variables and input variables, output variables are given. So here you can able to see the x of t is nothing but your all the input variables. So here x1 of t, x2 of t, it will be goes up to x m of t like that. And similarly u of t will be u1 of t, u2 of t. You will be having a n number of term parameters. And similarly y of t will be y1 of t, y2 of t, like that. And similarly x of 0 is nothing but where when t is equal to 0, so what is your x1 of 0 and x2 of 0 like that. So then all these things, this will be having a matrix model. So it is also called as a state vector, input vector, and output vector. State vector will be having a matrix term of n cross m, and b vector will be having a n cross r, c vector will be p cross n, and d vector will be p cross r like that. The state vector, input vector, and output vector will be transformed. So that will be the thing. So here the state space analysis will be consist of state equation, output equation, and state model and output model. So output model and state model will always try to return in terms of matrix model. Okay, and then we can go for the block diagram representation of state space model, or otherwise we can also call that as a state diagram. So in the normally in normal method, the system can be pictorially represented by means of a block diagram. Similarly, in the state space model, the system can be represented in as pictorially, that is called as a state diagram. So here both the thing are same. So therefore, we are call this as a block diagram representation of a state model. So now you can able to see we are having a state equation and output equation. For that two equations, we can able to draw the state diagram for the given system. So here generally the output equation is nothing but your um, c into x of t plus d into e of t. So that means from the input variable the signal has been comes, its coefficient is d, therefore d into e of t will come. And similarly c into x of t. So the combination of both, the combination means addition of these two gives you the output. Okay, so first of all you should always draw the input and output. Input is u of t and output is y of t. So here first you have to write the U of t. So from the U of t, you can able to see one signal is been going to D. Okay, other signal where it goes, we have to look. So in the state equation, x dot of t is equal to a into x of t plus b into u of t. So here u of t is already there. So therefore, you are using a rectangular block gain b. So output will be b into u of t. That will be given to your summer. So in this summer, we are going to add both a and b. Okay, so here a is a coefficient of x of t. So therefore we have to take from the x of t side. So but the same state equation has the x dot of t. So therefore we can have the integrator over here. In the state diagram, the integrator will be represented in pictorially by means of a rectangular box. Inside that you have to write 1 by s. 1 by s represents the integration. Okay, so here 1 by s will be there. So input for this gain will be x dot of t, that is a differentiation. So differentiation integration will be getting cancelled, the output will be the variable. Okay, that is your state variable. So now x of t is been obtained. X of t you are sampled out some signals, and then it gives to your feedback element, that will be your a. So now a will be having a positive feedback, you can write like that. So therefore you can able to see the plus a into x of t and b into u of t, that will be equivalent to your x of t. So summer output is nothing but x dot of t. Summer output is nothing but addition of two signals. One signal is coming from b, other signal is coming from a. So therefore this output from block gain a is nothing but your a into x of t. Output from block gain b is nothing but b into e of t. So if you are adding these two, you will be getting x dot of t. That is your state equation. So then if you want to write the output equation, and this output of the integration is nothing but your x of t. X of t learn you are drawing a straight line, and it gives to the input for the block gain c, and output becomes c into x of t for this c block gain, and that will be given to your another summer, the output side summer. And then we can take the sample of input variable, and it gives to the block gain d, and output of this will be given to another summer. So addition of these two signals will be is nothing but your y of t. So now you can able to see what are the differences in the input output model and the state space model. Input output model is also called as a transfer function model. So here you can able to see that by using a state space model, we can consider the internal behavior of the system. We can also analyze the internal behavior of the system, and then it is easy to incorporate with the complicated output variables, and it also have the significant computation advantage of computer simulations also. The that is one another advantages. And it can also represent the multiple input and multiple output system. So here always the transfer function model will be implemented in only a single input or single output system with a linear time invariant systems. Okay, so but here the state space model will be overcome that disadvantage. That's all. So here the input output model will become conceptually simple, and it will be very easy to convert it to frequency domain transfer functions, and also it will be practice. It's good initiative for the engineers for the good practicing, and then they are and it is these are input output models are difficult to solve the time domain and the Laplace transform domain specifications like that. So this will be the small important differentiation between the transfer function model and the state model. And then you can able to see what are the important terms which should be learned. Okay, so here we can go for the next. The first term is nothing but a state variable. So what are the different definitions for these different terms? So here the system variable is nothing but any variable that responds to an input with or initial conditions of the system. Is nothing but your system variable. State variable is nothing but the smallest set of linearly independent system variables, such that the values of the members of the set at time t is equal to 0, along with the known forcing functions, completely determined the value of all system variables for all t greater than 0. That is nothing but your state variable. State vector is nothing but a vector whose elements are state variables. And the state equations is nothing but set of first order differential equations with b variables, and where these n variables can be also solved are called as state variables. and then the output equation is algebraic, the algebraic equation that expresses the output variables of the system linear as the linear combination of the state variables and the input variables. And these are the various things we should know. And then we can able to see the state space model can be obtained in different methods, or state space can be represented in three different methods. First one is by using a physical model, and second phase variables and canonical variables. By using three methods, you can able to obtain the different state model for the system. Okay, so first of all, we are going to take the mechanical system, and we are going to see how the state model is been obtained for the given mechanical system. So it's very simple. The mechanical system is been available. So here it consists only the one mass and one spring and dashpot, and the output for the output of the mechanical system is nothing but y, and the input will be f of t. So now by looking into the mechanical system, you can able to say the differential equation. So which is nothing but m into d square y divided by dt square plus b into dy divided by dt plus k into y, that will be equivalent to f of t. So now whenever the differential equation is there, then we can follow as by the conventional method, or the other method by using a phase variables also. So whichever method is easier for you, we can able to use that, and we can able to determine the state model for this given mechanical system. So first of all, what we are going to do, I'm going to tell the concepts behind the mechanical system, how to solve the transfer state model from the given mechanical system. So first of all, whenever the mechanical system is given, so as usual procedure we have to follow up to writing the differential equation for the mechanical system. To write the differential equation, first what we do, so first we have to draw the free body diagram for the given node. Okay, so how many nodes is there, you have to analyze into the problem. So if nodes is 2, then you will be having a four differential equations. If nodes is 1, then you will be getting a two differential equations. So like that it will be consistent. So here you can able to see one mass is there, therefore two differential equations. If another mass is presented, that will be a two differential equation. Totally, you will be having four differential equations. But in this problem, only one mass is available. Therefore, you will be getting only two differential equations. So here, what we are going to do. So whenever the mechanical system is there, we have to assign the state variables as the minimum variables. Okay, so here the state variable will always be chosen as the output variable, output displacement and velocity and acceleration. So here we are having a displacement as y, that will be chosen as a first state variable, and the second will be the second will be the velocity. Velocity is nothing but dy divided by dt. So that will be considered as a next state variable. Okay, so up to two state variable you have to assign. After that you have to stop. Okay, so here first of all the state variable will be chosen as the displacement and velocity and acceleration of the given system. So here displacement is y, velocity is dy divided by dt. X1 y is been taken as a x1 state variable, and y dot is been taken in terms of x2 state variable. So now you got your two state variables. If you want to determine the state equation, so you have to obtain just x1 dot and x2 dot. So x1 dot is nothing but x2 value. Okay, so therefore here you can able to determine what is your x2 dot. X2 dot is nothing but y double dot. Okay, so here you will be having a differential equation. From that you can determine the y double dot. So here you can able to see f of t minus k into y minus b into y dot. So if you want to determine y double dot, you have to take a m into equal to that side. You will be getting 1 divided by m into minus by and minus ky, like that. Okay, so if you're taking minus commonly outside, you will be getting by plus ky, like that. That's all. So then minus 1 divided by m into f of t. So now you have to substitute, instead of y dot you can substitute x2, and instead of y double dot you can substitute that into x2 dot, and instead of y you can substitute x1. So if you are doing that, you will be getting a x2 dot equation as minus b divided by m x2 minus k divided by m into x1 minus 1 divided by m into f of t. So this is where x2 dot differential equation, x1 dot differential equation is nothing but x2. Like that, you can obtain the differential equation. Once you determine the differential equation, you can able to write the state model. It's very simple. State model, in order to write the state model, so you have to take all the state equation. So if in the state equation, you are having x1 dot and x2 dot. Okay, so that will be the state equation starting. That will be equivalent to your a into x of t. So, okay, x of t, here you will be getting only the two state variables, that is x1 and x2. So a other node coefficients will be a. So now what we are going to do, we are going to write the state model. Okay, so if you want to write the state model, so here first of all you should look into the x1 dot equation. In the x1 dot equation, you are having only the x2. You are not having any input. You are not having any x1 values. So instead of x1, you have to substitute 0, and in x2 place you have to write 1. So first equation is completed. Second equation, x2 dot is equal to minus k divided by m, okay, and then minus b divided by m into x2. So this will be the values. Now you have to substitute x1 instead of that value, minus k divided by m minus b divided by m, like that. So here you are having input signal, that is 1 divided by m into f of t. Instead of f of t, you have to write u of t. That's all. So now you have to write the output equation. In the output equation directly given in the mechanical system as displacement. So therefore, that is considered as x1. X2 is not available. Therefore, we are getting that as a 0. So this will be your output equation. So output model and state model has been drawn. So given is, therefore we have obtained the state model. So then we can draw the relevant block diagram. So from the equation, how to write the block diagram. So already I have told we are having a two x1 dot and x2 dot. So therefore, integration we should first draw into the block. Okay, rectangular box, draw a two integrations, and then first integration input will be x2 dot, output will be x2, and second integration input will be x2 dot, sorry, x2, and output will be x1. Okay, so like that it will becomes. So here from the equation you can write a x2, and that will be given to a k divided by m, and that will be given into the input side, and similarly x1 will be taken and it is given as the b divided by m, and then overall we can write that as a minus. So here from the input side we are getting 1 divided by m, that will be given to your summer as like this. Okay, so from the state equation you can draw the state model. So and you can write the state model, and then from the state model you can able to obtain the state diagram also for any given system. So the mechanical system is completed, and then we are going to go with the electrical system. So here you can able to see a simple RLC series circuit is given. For this we are going to write the state model of the system. So how we are going to write, we are going to discuss. So whenever the electrical system is given, the state variables will be assigned as the um, as the current through the inductor and voltage across the capacitor. So here we are having only one inductor and only one capacitor. Therefore, you will be getting two state equations, two state variable. Okay, so here we are going to write the output equation. Output equation is nothing but voltage across the capacitor, which is nothing but U2 of t. Okay, so this is how we are going to do. So here we are getting a closed loop, closed RLC series circuit. So here we first try to write the differential equation. So differential equation for the mechanical system always it has been written based on the Newton's second law, which is nothing but sum of applied force is equal to sum of opposing forces. But here in the electrical system, it will be differential equation will be written in terms of Kirchhoff's laws. That is Kirchhoff's voltage law and current law. So here it has been used as a Kirchhoff's current law, voltage law. So that is a voltage across the voltage. Kirchhoff's voltage law says that sum of voltage rise is equal to sum of voltage drops. So voltage drops will be voltage across the all the elements. So here voltage across the resistor will be R into I of t, L into di divided by dt, plus 1 divided by C into I of t into dt. So from this, we are going to assign the state variables. Already I have told the current through the inductor will be assigned as a state variable. Current through the capacitor will be say as another second x2. So now we are going to determine the two values. So here you will be having a x1 dot is equal to current through the inductor. Current through the inductor is nothing but I of t. Okay, so the I of t has been taken as a first state variable, and then the voltage across the capacitor. So which is nothing but integration of I into dl. Okay, so x2 dot value that will be. So here you can obtain the y. Y is nothing but your voltage across the capacitor only. You can write that also. So from this you can write the equation. So here x1 divided by x2. So first equation and we will be getting that is x L into dx1 divided by dt, right? From that you can write the state model and also you can write the output model. So here for any given mechanical system and the electrical system, you can able to write the state model. Okay, so that is what we here it has been given. So then so you can able to see whatever the thing I have explained to you. So first of all, RLC series circuit is given. So you are writing the differential equation by means of Kirchhoff's voltage law. So sum of voltage rise is equal to sum of voltage drop across the each element. Drop across the resistor will be R into I of t, L into dA divided by dt, 1 divided by C into integral of I into dt. That will be EI. So here you have to assign the state variables. X1 is equal to I of t, and the voltage across the capacitor will be the X2. So here output equation will be if the current voltage source is given, current through the circuit will be the output equation. Therefore, y of t is equal to I of t. So now from this equation, so you can able to obtain the x1 dot x2 dot. Okay, so here you can able to see x1 dot you can determine. Okay, so x1 dot is nothing but your L into x1 dot is equal to E of t, U of t minus 1 divided by C into S into I of S and minus R into I of S. So here L will be taken into right hand side. You will be getting R divided by L and minus 1 divided by L into C. So this will be the equation. So that will be consist with the input as 1 divided by L. So similarly, you can do with the x2 dot. X2 dot is nothing but your um, x1 okay, therefore you will be getting 1 and 0, so that will be the output model. So here state model and output model, it will be combinedly called as a state space representation of any system. Okay, and then we can go for next one, that is transfer function is been given. So for this we have to obtain the state model. So from the transfer function, how to obtain the state model? So we can use the first thing as a differential equation model. So here the equation is been given. So we are taking a different denominator. So s is cube, therefore c cube, and 9 into s square, c 9 into c double dot, 26 into c that will be 26 dot, and to 24 c that will be equal to 24 into r. So here whenever the differential equation is been given like this, so then we have to assign the minimum state variables. So how to assign the minimum state variables means, if any differential equation is given, then its first output variable will be considered um, as your state variables. X1 is equal to c, and the next state variable will be chosen as a differentiation of previous state variable, which is nothing but a c or the next derivative c dot. Okay, so that will be the thing. And then the last one is nothing but your c triple dot. So if you're having a three differentiation, then you have to assign the assign the state variable as 3. Okay, so here c double dot, c triple dot. So that will be x1, x2, x3. Then you substitute that into the equations. You will be getting relevant equations. x1 dot is equal to x2, x2 dot is equal to x3, x3 dot is equal to minus 24 into x1, minus 26 into x2, minus 9 into x3, and plus 24 into r. So that will be the equations. So from that you can write the state model, and also you can draw the state diagram. So this is a simple thing you can able to understand from the previous problem also. And then so here you can able to see C triple dot. So therefore, three state variable will be available. So it's a first state system variable will be considered as x1, and second C dot will be considered as second state variable. C double dot will be considered as a third state variable. Substitute that into the equation, and you will be getting x3 dot is equal to minus 24 C1 x1 minus 26 into x2 minus 9 into x3 my plus 24 into r. So that will be the x3 dot. X2 dot is nothing but your x3. X1 dot is nothing but your x2. So from this equation you can easily obtain the state model. So that is first equation, you are having only the x2. Therefore remaining x1 and x3 is 0. And similarly the next equation will be x2 dot. In that you are getting only the x3. Remaining x1 and x2 will be 0. So on the x3 dot line, you will be getting various values, substitute the coefficients. So output model, if you want to write, the output is equal to uh, that is x1 of t, that is the real value. So therefore corresponding that value will be 1, remaining all the other will be 0. So like that you have to obtain the state model and output model for any given systems. And then you can able to see one the first this is a one problem. So you have to obtain the state model for the given transfer function. So transfer function is simply is given. So now you can able to see ss cube is there. Take commonly outside the ss cube. So now you can able to see 1 plus 4 divided by s plus 2 divided by s square plus 1 divided by s cube is available. Okay, so denominator s cube can be taken into numerator, that is a 10 divided by s cube divided by 1 minus of minus values you can replace. So minus 4 divided by s minus 2 divided by s square and minus 1 divided by s cube will be coming. So if you from this transfer function simplification, you can draw the signal flow graph. Okay, so how to draw the signal flow graph means highest s power is 3. Therefore, 3 1 by s will come. That is for the integration. Okay, so integration branch gain will be 1 by s. 3 1 by s should come. In between, you can write unity branches or transmittance. Okay, so here you will be getting 1 by s. After that, branch gain is 1, and after that 1 by s branch gain is been inserted, and after that one will be chosen. Okay, so like that draw the signal flow graph, and then you can write the state equations. So for each one of s you will be getting input and output node. So you first, and then if you are getting first one by s, the input is x input is a the equation. So then write the x1 dot is equal to minus 4 into x1 plus 4 into sorry 8 into sorry x2 and x2 dot is nothing but minus 4 into x1 plus x3, and x3 dot is nothing but your minus x1 plus 10u. So that will be the thing. Output equation is nothing but y is equal to x1. So now you can write your state model. So before that writing, so you can able to see x2 dot is equal to in the for this node where the signal is been coming, we have to look. So here x2 and the signal is been coming minus 4 into x2 x1. Similarly for the next node x2 dot, you will be getting two signals, that is x2 x1 dot and sorry minus x3 dot and minus 2 into x1. So and then the third equation will be x3 dot, which is nothing but 10 into u minus x1. So here like that you can write the state equation, and then state model you can write. So state model formula is A and A into X, B into U. So that will be the thing. So just enter it. Okay, and then you can able to see the next slide. You can able to see the canonical state model. So how we can write the canonical state model for any given transfer function. So you can see the transfer function. Okay, so here you can able to see. So whenever the transfer function is given, so you have to convert that in terms of equation. Okay, So y of s divided by u of s. So now what we are going to do, uh, um, take all the constant outside, you convert that into 1 plus s term, and then here numerator la 40 divided by 3 will come, okay, divided by s, and then 15 so here you can able to see transfer function is given as usual. So and apply the partial fraction, determine the constant values, you will be getting a transfer function as like this. A value is nothing but 40 divided by 3, b value minus 15, and c value is nothing but your 10 divided by sorry, 5 divided by 3 something, okay. So now you will be getting all the a value, b value, and c value. Substitute that into the y of s. That will be a is 40 divided by 3 whole divided by s, and b value is minus 15, so minus 5 1 5, and similarly s into 1 plus 1 divided by s. So here that denominator has been going out, and then yes, yes, commonly if you are taking outside you will be get, sorry, 3 if you are taking outside you will be getting. So then you can write the equation, canonical transfer function equations. So here 1 divided by s into 40 divided by 3 u of s, and 1 divided by s 1 divided by 1 plus 1 divided by s 15, and into u of s, and 1 divided by s divided by 1 plus 1 divided by s into 3, and into 1 by 3. So here by having this equation, output equation, you can able to draw the canonical state diagram. So from the canonical state diagram you can obtain the state equation. From the state equation you can write the state model, that's all. So here you can able to see 1 by s is there. So directly 1 by s that will be given to your 40 divided by 3 block in. The output of this will be goes to the output summer, and then you can able to see 1 divided by 1 plus term, which is nothing but your loop. So therefore numerator la 1 by s. So unity feedback is been implemented, and then its input is x2 dot of t, output is x2. Similarly another integrator will be implemented. So feedback signal has been taken and given to the input side, that is 3, okay. So therefore here the output will be 3 divided by x square, that will be the thing, okay. So now you can able to write the equations. So x2 dot where the signal is coming, that will be combined together gives you the equation. So x2 dot signal is coming from u of t, and also the signal x2, okay. Similarly x3 dot signal is been coming from u of t, and then the another signal is 3 into x3. So similarly x1 dot is nothing but your just u. So this is your state equation. Output equation will be this one. So here some before this some output equation, the summary has been there. Signal has been coming from 40 divided by 3 into x1, 15 into x2, and 5 divided by 3 into 3, okay, into 1 by s. So this will be the various transfer functions. From that you can able to determine the states model for canonical state equations, and then physical model and mechanical system and electrical system has been gets completed, okay. So by this you can able to see various problem. You can also able to write the state model, okay, and output model. So it's very simple thing. And then we can able to see the frequency equations with the input coordinates, okay. So here you can able to see x of t is equal to 0. I will share the file now. So here you can able to see x of t is equal to e power at into x0. Okay, so where e power at is nothing but your L inverse of Si minus A, the whole inverse. And then solution for the state equation will be x of t will be taken as e power at into initial condition x0, 0 to integration e power at minus minus r b into minus tau into b into tau d tau. So the equation becomes a phi of t x of 0 plus L inverse of phi of s into b into e of s. E power at is nothing but you are always a phi of t. Okay. And then you can also take the simple problem. By that we can conclude today's class. Remaining we discuss into the next class. So here you can able to see x dot of t, x1 dot of t, a and b matrix, b and c matrix is there. So you can able to see a corner frequency is nothing but your which value you have to write, and then see what here it been completes, okay. So here you can able to see e power 8 is nothing but phi of t, that is equal to one, phi of s into L minus or L inverse of Si minus A the whole inverse. So you will be getting the equation as like this. So this will be the relation uh, for the two transfer functions. Okay. So here you can able e power at into x of 0. So this will be the thing how to determine the state equation and state model. So now we are going to write the concepts of controllability and observability. Okay. So here the minimum of controllability under state variables if it is possible to transfer the system state from any initial state to the any other desired state, that will be called as a controlled controllability and observability of the system. So here we are having the state equations. A state equation x dot is equal to a into x plus b into u, y is equal to c into x into d into u. So this will be the state equation. So here this state equation can be transformed into the equation is x dot becomes z dot, and a becomes inverse v, and b becomes b vector, and similarly capital Y is equal to c vector into z plus d into u. D will be 0, so you can close that and answer. So now so we can conclude up to this remaining we discuss into the next class. Okay, thank you for attending the class. If you have any doubts, you can ask. Otherwise, we can wind up the class. Okay. So here you can able to see z dot is equal to inverse v into z plus b into u, and y is equal to c vector into z and plus d into u. So here inverse v is nothing but your Gramian matrix. So that is can be m inverse into a into m. M inverse is nothing but your M is nothing but your model matrix. Its inverse will be M inverse. Model matrix can be obtained by vendor model matrix or otherwise by using eigenvalues and eigenvectors. And then B vector is nothing but M inverse B, and C vector is nothing but C into M. So these are the things very important to determine the controllability and observability of the system. So by Gilbert's test, you have to follow this method, and for the Kalman's test, you have to follow the different formula. So that we discuss next. And here you can able to see the definition for the controllability. So a system is said to be the completely observable if for every state it will be completely identified by measurements of the output over a finite time interval. So this will be the thing. So you can able to see the simple identification for determining the observability also. So if the here in the Gilbert's method, controllability observability, how to check. So here B vector is not equal to 0, or it contains non-zero elements, then it is completely controllable, otherwise not controllable. C vector should consist with non-zero elements. Okay, then it will be completely observable. So like that we have to do the controllability and observability test. So then we can able to see the Kalman's test. In the Kalman's test, the controllability can be checked as B A B and A dot B up to N minus 1 dot B. Like that, this formula will be used to determine the controllability in the Kalman's test. So here the determination of QC should be not equal to 0, and the rank should be equal to number of state variable. Then the Kalman's test control system will be completely controllable, otherwise not controllable. Similarly, for the observability, Q naught will be C transpose, A transpose, C transpose, A transpose the whole square into C transpose, like that. It will be goes different various values. And here also the determination of Q naught should not be equivalent to 0. So and also here the number of state variable will be equivalent to the rank of matrix. Okay, so Q naught matrix. So then it will be completely observable, otherwise not observable. So like that we can able to determine the controllability and observability for the Gilbert tests and Kalman's tests. And then we can able to see what is Gramian matrix, which is nothing but inverse V, M inverse A into M. So it is also called as a Jacobian matrix. B vector is nothing but M into M inverse B, and C vector is equal to C into M. And for the canonical state model, z dot is equal to inverse v z plus b vector u, y is equal to z vector is c vector into z d into u. And then we can also compute the state transition matrix, which will be m into e to the power of inverse vt m inverse. So or otherwise we can write e power inverse v as e lambda 1 into t and 0 0 0 e lambda 2 into t 0 0 0 e lambda 3 into d. So diagonal elements will be e power eigenvalues. Okay. So this is how you can determine the state transition matrix also. So hope we can able to understand the concepts very well. So we will start with the problems in the next class. So these are the important formulas which will be used for determining the controllability and observability and also determine the canonical state model. So this is a procedure. So simple formulas. M is equal to M model matrix, which can be obtained by two methods. One is by using a Endor model matrix, which is nothing but 1 1 1 lambda 1 lambda 2 lambda 3 lambda 1 square lambda 2 square lambda 3 square. So this will be M. M inverse will be cofactor of M divided by determination of M. So this is the important formulas which will be used to solve the problems of controllability, observability in Hilbert states and Kalman states. And also in the eigenvalues procedure, so first of all, you should determine the lambda 1 I minus A, and then you will be getting a matrix. So in this matrix, first row, okay, you have to determine the cofactor. So therefore, that will be M is equal to C11, C12, and C13. Similarly, second lambda 2 I minus A. Similarly, you determine the first row cofactor. M2 will be C11, C12, C13. So if eigenvalues are repeated, then you have to differentiate that and then substitute the lambda value. Okay. So similarly, you will be getting the equations and you can able to see that. Okay, a simple formulas. So which will be used in the process of determining the observability and controllability. So these are the formulas which will be used. So yeah, state transition matrix M Q of T e power in inverse V into T M inverse. So this is a computation for a state transition matrix. Okay, so this will be the various important things, and then we take the problem and discuss. Okay, so hope everyone understood. We complete the class or conclude the class. Thank you for attending the class. Okay. So if you have any doubt, you can also ask into the next class. Thank you.